Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Sunday, July 13th. Happy Sunday, everybody. This is also the last day before the All-Star break, so going to be no Dong report for the next week or so, but I am still going to have stuff for the Home Run Derby. We're going to talk about all of that, but for today, I have 7 total players on Dong Watch, and I have my 4 favorites. Going to give you my 4 favorites at the beginning, of course, and then those of you that want to spray the board with me, going to give you all 7. Just regardless, would appreciate it if you could watch the entire video. As far as yesterday goes, it was a fine day overall. We did get 2 guys to hit home runs, which did give us profit. Mickey Moniak ended up being scratched. He didn't play, so we got that one refunded. But we were able to cash out Mike Trout. We were able to cash out Ronald Acuna Jr. Joe Adell hit a double off the wall. Was very, very close to hitting a home run. If he had come through, it would have been a great day yesterday, but he did not. But it wasn't terrible. Up 0.49 units yesterday. That's not amazing, of course, being up about half a unit, but it was nice to get in the green because it had been a couple days in a row where we had been in the red. On the entire season, we did manage to get ourselves back in the green, and then we had a tough day on Friday. I played Friday pretty heavily, got burned for it. So we're still working our way back to go back in the green on the year, down about 0.9 units on the year, down about 0.87% ROI on the year as well. We have a good day today. We get ourselves in the green heading into the All-Star break, which would be great. And for today, very, very confident in the plays that we have. Fantastic hitting weather across the board. Some games to be expected that are good weather games. The Great American Ballpark, fantastic. Suter Health Park, fantastic. I don't have anything in these next 2, but those are good. Yankee Stadium, fantastic. Brewer Stadium, fantastic. And then there are some games from a weather perspective that are pretty good, like Comerica Park has good weather, but it's a hitter's park, it's a pitcher's park. I keep doing that. Good weather, but it's a pitcher's park and all that stuff. But generally pretty good weather today, and there's mostly agreement across the board with weather edge as well. They slightly like the Red Sox game. They like the Orioles game. They like the Yankees game. They think the Reds game is average, but the stadium at Red Stadium, Great American Ballpark, is a home run hitter's park. The Tigers one is good. The White Sox one is good. So mostly agreement across the board, which is good. And to give you my first of my 3 favorites, it's going to be Paul Goldschmidt. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 375 odds at Bet365 and also 370 at FanDuel. Those are the 2 best offered prices. I would take either one of those. Hopefully that's still available by the time you are watching this. The thing with Goldschmidt, so number 1, I already mentioned, fantastic weather game, plus 20% edge from a weather perspective, and Ballpark Pal, I keep mixing them up, and Weather Edge likes it as well. The pitching matchup here, Shota Imanaga is pitching for the Cubs. He's good. Let me be very clear. He is a good pitcher, but he can be hit up by right-handed hitters, especially his four-seam fastball. That's kind of like he throws the four-seamer and the splitter. That's like 95% basically of his pitch mix are those 2 pitches. And that four-seamer can get hit up. And it was the same thing last year. It's not like just him coming back from injury is why that's the case. You look at his numbers against righties. Fly ball rate is pretty high, 43%. The hard hit rate is relatively high, 46%. And the barrel rate is relatively high at 8.33% as well. And then you look at the Yankees batters against left-handed pitching over the last month. Obviously, Judge is going to take the cake. Judge is number 1 by far. If you want to bet Aaron Judge at plus 165 odds, be my guest. It's just anything under 200, I just can't stomach. But the next guy behind him is Paul Goldschmidt, who has really good numbers against lefties over the last month. 19% barrel rate is very good. 54% hard hit rate is very good. And that fly ball rate at 37.5% is also really good. And look how low that K rate is. He strikes out less than 10% of the time. And the biggest issue for Shota in terms of home runs is the four-seam fastball. And you look at Paul Goldschmidt against four-seam fastballs over the last month, fantastic. Almost a 30% barrel rate. Fantastic numbers across the board against four-seamers from Goldschmidt. And you look at the entire season for Goldschmidt, the four-seam fastball against left-handed pitching, really, really good numbers. It's not like it's a recent thing for Goldschmidt. He's always hit lefties well. He's fantastic against the four-seam fastball. And you look at his recent form just in general, 19 hard hits over the last 2 weeks is acceptable. You look over the last 7 days, 10 hard hits and 2 barrels over the last week are acceptable numbers as well. So I really, really like, obviously, Paul Goldschmidt in this one. Think he's a fantastic pick for tonight. That is play number 1. Again, plus 375 odds at Bet365. Next up, give me Bo Bichette. We're taking him to hit a home run. Really good price here at plus 480 odds at FanDuel or 475 at ESPN Bet. This is Ballpark Pal really likes this one. Obviously, you can see the highlighted orange here means that they have it as a positive EV play. True odds plus 376 according to Ballpark Pal. We're getting it at plus 480 or 475. So the thing here is Bo Bichette's been hitting well. You look at him over the last 7 days, 12 hard hits, 4 barrels. That's fantastic. That's a little bit better than very well. That's fantastic. Look at him over the last 14 days, and he's got 13 hard hits and 4 barrels. So he's been better the last week as opposed to the last 14 days, which is fine if all this damage is being done over the last week. That's okay. And he had a phenomenal day at the plate yesterday. He did not hit a home run, but you look at his EV logs from yesterday, he had 3 hard hits total. That's good. And then you look into those hard hits, double, 405 feet, home run in 13 out of 30 ballparks, 105 miles an hour off the bat. He had another line out, 104 miles an hour off the bat, and then he had another double, 102. So that's 3 hits, all 102 miles per hour or faster. That's fantastic. Then you look at the pitching matchup. It's Jeffrey Springs is pitching for the Athletics. He's not a bad pitcher, but you look at him over the last 5 weeks, he's allowed a home run every 20 or so at-bats against right-handed hitters. You look at him on the entire year, it's about the same thing. Home run every 20 or so at-bats to right-handed hitters. And then you look at who on Toronto has really good numbers against left-handed pitching. So we're looking at the last month against lefties. It is Bo Bichette, 14% barrel rate, 48% hard hit rate, 20% fly ball rate. And you look at Jeffrey Springs, he throws the four-seam fastball the majority of the time, but he doesn't really have one home run pitch like Shota Imanaga. It could be the four-seamer, it could be the changeup, the slider, even the cutter that he's throwing 5% of the time has been hit for a home run. So the pitch mix thing, it's a bunch of pitches, but four-seam fastballs from lefties, really good numbers from Bo Bichette over the last month. You look at the changeup over the last month, really good numbers for Bo Bichette. You look at the slider against lefties, he hasn't seen a ton, he's seen 2. So you go to a bigger sample size for Bo Bichette against the slider. Only seen 5 over the last 2 months. You look over the last 3 months, he's seen 7. He doesn't, no matter how you slice it, he doesn't have great numbers against the slider, but that is the pitch he's only going to see 20% of the time. So that one doesn't really scare me off. But regardless, really, really good matchup for Bo Bichette to hit a home run. Ballpark Pal loves it. They have him as a plus 10. And so did Paul Goldschmidt, I should say. They also had it as a plus 10. Extreme advantage in favor of the batter. And again, fantastic hitting weather. It always is at Suter Health Park. It's hot, temperature in the hundreds by the time this game ends. It's going to start in the 90s. So really, really good stuff here. I love Bo Bichette. I really like the slate in general today. I think there's a lot of value on the board today. That is my second play. Next up, give me Andrew Vaughn. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 500 odds at Bet365. No odds on FanDuel as of right now. I'm not 100% sure why. Sometimes that does scare me off. It's like, what do they know? But every other book has prices, and plus 500 is a very good price for Andrew Vaughn. And then if he ends up getting scratched for whatever reason, then we just get this refunded. So no issues there. So Andrew Vaughn was started playing for the Brewers on July 7th. So it's been like 5 games. He's been hitting pretty well in those 5 games. He's got 2 barrels in that stretch, and then he had the 3 hard hits yesterday. So generally hitting pretty well, especially when you take into account the 3 hard hits yesterday is very good. The biggest thing here, the weather's fantastic, which I already showed you. The weather at Milwaukee, 26% home run edge, winds blowing out to left field. It's hot. The air is going to be good for carry. It's just a very good weather game. And Jake Irving is pitching for the Nats. The guy's an absolute home run machine. You look at him on the year, that home run number under every 20 at-bats is very, very bad. But you look at him recently over the last 5 weeks, so basically his last 5 starts, home run every 11 at-bats is disgusting. And look at these numbers. I mean, 10, almost 11% barrel rate, 55% hard hit rate, fly ball rate above 30%. You look at him against righties, home run every 10, like under 11 at-bats is terrible. Barrel rate high. The hard hit rate is a little bit lower, but still, these numbers are awful. And then you look at Vaughn since he's been called up against righties. I mean, again, it's only a 5-game sample size, but the 3 pitches that are the home run pitches for Jake Irvin, the four-seam fastball, the curveball, and the slider, you look at those, and Andrew Vaughn has really good numbers. Again, it's a tiny sample size, so you don't want to put too much into it, but 2 home runs hit off that pitch mix, 3 extra base hits, fantastic numbers across the board from Andrew Vaughn. You look at it, you see a lot of green. I mean, 107 double, 107 home run, 101 home run. And you go through each pitch individually. Again, all these sample sizes are going to be tiny, but the fastball, really good. Then it was the curveball. He hasn't seen any, so nothing there. And then it was the slider. I think he's seen 1. That was a home run. And then the other pitch that I'll see 30% of the time that isn't quite a home run pitch over the last 5 weeks is the sinker, and he hasn't seen any of those. So not really anything there. But for the value at plus 500, I think it's fantastic for Andrew Vaughn. I really, really like him. And then my 4th of my favorites. So I have 4 favorites and then 3 after that. We're going back to the Ninja Turtle. Why not? Rafaela, we're taking him to hit a home run. Really good odds on him at plus 630 at FanDuel. I would also take plus 600 at Bet365. So the Red Sox as a team are on fire. He has been hitting really well. You look at him over the last week. This is going to take a little bit to load, so we will go to the pitching matchup. Ryan Pepio, who I like to call Pepe Le Pew, is pitching for the Rays. He's not terrible. He's been pretty bad in terms of allowing home runs recently. You look at him over the his last 5 starts. Home run every 12 at-bats to righties is terrible. These ancillary numbers are not disgusting. Barrel rate is a little bit low at 8%, but the hard hit rate is not bad. The line drive plus fly ball rate is not bad. And then you look at him on the entire year, still under that 20 number in terms of home runs allowed to righties, with numbers slightly below average across the board, with the 2 biggest issues being his four-seam fastball and his slider. Now, again, the Red Sox as a team are hitting fantastically, and it's a bummer that Rami Gonzalez is hurt because he would absolutely be a play. But Rafaela, the Ninja Turtle, 10 hard hits, 3 barrels over the last week. Very, very good. You look at the Ninja Turtle over the last month, 21 hard hits, the last 14 days, 21 hard hits and 7 barrels is fantastic. Very, very, very good numbers. And then you look at him against that pitch mix, those 2 pitches over the last month, 15% barrel rate, 56% hard hit rate, 26% fly ball rate, a little bit of a lower fly ball rate, but really, really, really good numbers against those 2 pitches. Those are the home run pitches that this pitcher throws, Pepe Le Pew. And you look at these EV logs, 103, 102, 103, 105, 98. Really, really good stuff. And plus 630 is a phenomenal price for him to hit a home run. So I think that's really good. That was the 4th of my 4 favorites. I'm going to have 3 additional for those of you that want to spray the board with me. Starting with Cody Bellinger. Now I know this guy just hit 3 home runs yesterday. He should have hit 4 home runs yesterday. I get it. Not everybody is going to like that. Was it 3 home runs yesterday? Was it the day before when Bellinger? It was the day before, So he hit 3 home runs on Friday. A lot of people are going to say, why would you take him against a lefty when Imanaga hasn't allowed any home runs to lefties this year? But it's not like he's unhittable against left-handed hitters. You look at Shota Imanaga over his last 5 starts, basically since he's come back from injury, is what we're looking at. 10% barrel rate, and he allows the guys to hit the ball in the air. Now, the hard hit rate, obviously, that's low. That hard hit rate is low. Sierra's high, the K rate is low. The biggest thing, though, is that four-seam fastball, like 60% of it, over 60% of his pitches to lefties is that four-seamer. And Bellinger surprisingly hits four-seam fastballs from lefties really, really well. You look at him against four-seamers. Over the last month, he's hit 3 home runs off of a lefty from a four-seam fastball in 10 at-bats. That's really, really good. I mean, you look at this, 102, 102, 101. All of those were home runs. That's over the last month. You look at the last 2 months, 4 home runs, 21% Barrel rate, fantastic. Hard hit rate, almost 50%, fantastic. Fly ball rate, above 50%, fantastic. You look at the last 4 months, so we're giving you the entire year. Those are really good numbers against the four-seamer from a lefty. That's what he's going to see over 60% of the time. And you look at his odds. Ballpark Pal really likes this one as well. He's plus 450 at FanDuel and ESPN Bet, 425 at DK. They have his true odds at below 500 or below 400. And you look at the park, it's Yankee Stadium against the lefty. And those are really good. That's a really good situation. That's exactly what you're looking for, is a lefty at Yankee Stadium. I know I took a righty, but generally you want to take a lefty just because of the short porch, the short right field porch. But like righties can still go deep at Yankee Stadium, obviously, as well. But regardless, I think it's a good look on Cody Bellinger in a matchup that's a lot better than you would expect. It's not like obviously a 10 out of 10, but Bellinger historically does hit lefties well. Obviously, I showed you he hits the four-seamer well, and a +7 is not bad. So I really like that. I'm going back to Mickey Moniak. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 400 odds at FanDuel. I went with him yesterday. He didn't end up playing. We got that refunded. I think he's got another good opportunity to go yard tonight as well. You look at him over the last 2 weeks for the Rockies. He doesn't play every day, so take this with a grain of salt, but 14 hard hits and 5 barrels while not playing every day is good. And you look at the percentages, barrel rate of almost 25%, hard hit rate 2/3 of the time, kind of shows you when he's in and when he's hitting the ball, he's hitting it well. Fly ball rate above 40%, pull rate almost 60%. Those are really good numbers. Now, the pitcher he's going up against, Nick Martinez, is not terrible. I will admit, Nick Martinez, despite pitching at Red Stadium, he is not a terrible pitcher. He's allowed a home run every 20 at-bats to lefties over the last 5 weeks. And then you look at him on the entire year, it's every 30 at-bats or so. So he's not somebody that is like a huge dong ball pitcher. But what I really wanted to show you is, A, that cutter gets hit really hard. And then his last 5 weeks, he's thrown it a little bit more to lefties, the majority of his pitches. And Mickey Moniak has really good numbers against this pitch mix. So we're looking at the four-seam fastball and the cutter. I mean, on the entire season, that's a fantastic number. 13% barrel rate, 55% hard hit rate, 43% fly ball rate. You look over the last month, this is against righties. Really, really good numbers. You look at these EV logs. I mean, his last 2 against Chase Burns weren't good. That's Chase Burns. We can forgive that. But Bayo, 97, 103, 100, 110, 111, 108, 101. Really good EV logs. And it's not not a crazy dong ball pitcher in Nick Martinez, but definitely not anybody to be scared off of. So I think he is worth taking. And then the last one is Randy Arozarena. We're taking him to hit a home run, going up against Jack Flaherty, targeting a nice pitch mix situation here as well. You look at Jack Flaherty. He's just been a home run guy overall. In last 5 weeks, home run every 19 at-bats, every 18 at-bats to righties. You look at him on the year, those numbers are flipped a little bit. Home run every 27 at-bats to righties and every 16 to lefties. So he's been a lot worse to lefties on the year, but he's been a lot worse to righties recently. And his barrel rate and stuff numbers are slightly worse against righties, especially recently. You look over the last 5 weeks. Pretty slightly bad. And then Arozarena's been on fire. I mean, one of the best hitters in baseball. You look at him recently over the last 2 weeks, 8 barrels is very good. 21 hard hits is pretty good over the last week. 3 barrels is good. 7 hard hits is acceptable. He had like a mini swoon where he had a 3-game stretch where he only had 3 hard hits, but then he had 2 yesterday, hit them pretty well. And the Flaherty loves to throw the fastball. That's his biggest thing. Fastball over 55% of the time. And Arozarena has really good numbers against the four-seamer from righties. 15% barrel rate, almost a 76% hard hit rate. Fly ball 1/3 of the time. He does strike out a lot, but that's okay because it does mean he's swinging for the fences. And this is good. It's a tough stadium, but it's good weather for home run at Comerica Park. And for a righty who's going to pull it, it is hot, temperature in the 90s, and the wind blowing to left is not super high winds, but also not terrible. It's going to help a right-handed hitter like Arozarena, especially somebody that's pulling the ball above 40% of the time over the last week, and about 36% is a little low for 2 weeks. But the price on him is also really good. Arozarena is plus 5 100 odds at Bet365, which is another reason why I like it. But yeah, that's all we got. So 7 players on Dong Watch for you guys, all sent out to my Tails account for those of you that don't want to watch the YouTube videos but still want to tail. My 4 favorites are Goldschmidt, Vaughn, Bichette, and the Ninja Turtle, Rafaela. And then the other remaining 3 are Mickey Moniak, Andrew Vaughn, Cody Bellinger, and Randy Arozarena. But that's what we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, bet responsibly, all that good stuff, and have a good one.